Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Dallas Cowboys Jerry Jones pushes back on Dak Prescott contract extension, opens door to 2025 exit. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott currently has the second largest cap hit in 2024 among all NFL players. While a contract extension would significantly reduce that number and keep the MVP candidate in Dallas for years to come, it appears that a long-term deal is no longer a certainty. Prescott, coming off a career-best season, holds significant leverage over Dallas. The team would need to sign him to an extension to significantly lower his cap hit, and failing to do so risks him leaving in NFL free agency next year. The Cowboys also can't trade him or franchise tag him, providing Prescott with significant negotiating power. That's why most have viewed it as a foregone conclusion that Prescott would receive an extension this offseason, once again making him one of the highest-paid NFL players. However, that may no longer be the case in Dallas. Speaking to reporters at the NFL Combine, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones left the door open to Prescott not receiving a contract extension this year and having to play out the final season of his contract. "We don't need to extend Prescott's deal, but we can if everybody wants to solve it. You can get in and get on the same page and see if you can come to an agreement. If you can't, what we have in place works. And so obviously, if you do it one way, you'll be working through some of the other areas on the team in a different way, but you can't really plan on that until you see when you're there." Jones is correct that the team doesn't have to extend Prescott's contract. It could restructure his existing deal, freeing up $18.52 million in immediate cap space. However, that also comes with a long-term cost. A simple contract restructure would also mean Dallas is left with a $36.385 million cap charge when Prescott is off the roster in 2025, with another cap hit of $20+ million in 2026, per overtcap.com. In that scenario, Prescott could maximize his leverage even further by hitting the open market, with the Cowboys unable to tag him next year. Jones may be downplaying the team's interest in a contract extension to create his own leverage, but Dallas has limited options either. If the team restructures his contract, Prescott would have even more control over negotiations in 2025 with larger dead cap hits if he leaves. Ultimately, an extension is in the best interest of both parties. Cowboys free agent Tyler Biadasz could be headed elsewhere in 2024, Michael Gallup too. The legal tampering window in the NFL officially opens a week from today, Monday, March 11th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time to be specific, and when it does we will see a lot of deals negotiated between players and teams all across the league. It seems unlikely that the Dallas Cowboys will get off of the couch and participate in terms of bringing in new players, but it is more probable than not that some of the players who have held a locker recently at the Star could find new homes. On Monday morning, Michael Gehlken of the Dallas Morning News offers some takeaways from the NFL Combine, and among them were the notions that Michael Gallup and Tyler Biadasz could be on the outside looking in as far as the 2024 version of this roster is concerned. Let's start with Michael Gallup. Cowboys are wrestling with Michael Gallup decision. On Friday, team owner Jerry Jones declined to say whether Gallup is part of the Cowboys' 2024 plans. There is a chance the team releases the wide receiver. He is scheduled to have $4 million of his $8.5 million salary become fully guaranteed if on the roster March 17. A decision is expected as soon as this week. If the Cowboys release Gallup, they won't feel great about it. He caught 6 passes on 6 targets for 103 yards in the January 14 playoff loss to Green Bay. The 100-yard game was his first since an ACL injury early on January 2, 2022. Gallup, a 2018 third-round pick, is healthy now. Gallup, who turned 28 Monday, arguably was underutilized down the stretch last season. He struggled before the Week 7 bye, leading to his involvement being justifiably reduced. The Cowboys probably overcorrected, though. His 25 targets in the final 11 games were 6th most on the team. It comes as no surprise that the Cowboys are likely moving on from Gallup. Unfortunately, the deal that the team signed him to following the 2021 season has never proven to be worth it. Dallas seemed to think that Gallup would find the form he had prior to tearing his ACL, but in the 2 seasons that have followed he has drifted further and further down the depth chart. We have spoken at great length about the decision to bring Gallup back that happened in the 2022 offseason, the same offseason in which the Cowboys traded away Amari Cooper. That entire sequence never made sense and was never going to make sense. Gelkin also addressed the future of center Tyler Biadasz. Tyron Smith's time with the Cowboys could be done. If so, the 8-time Pro Bowl left tackle probably won't be the only offensive line starter out the door. Club officials met with Smith's agent in Indianapolis. The conversation made clear how distant the sides stand on Smith returning for a 14th season in Dallas. While the Cowboys hold center Tyler Biadasz in very high regard, he is likely to fall in line with Connor Williams and Connor McGovern as the latest homegrown interior offensive lineman to receive his second contract elsewhere. The Cowboys do not consider themselves positioned to be financially competitive for Biadasz's services on the open market, a person close to the situation told the news. That is not considered a reflection on Biadasz, who is respected not only for his production level but his study habits, toughness, effort and overall consistency. It was reported over the weekend by NFL Network that Tyron Smith is unlikely to return to the Cowboys in 2024, which is why that is referenced here, but it appears that Tyler Biadasz may be set to join him. Biadasz has been a fine center for the team since they traded up to draft him in 2020. Given his accomplishments, it stands to reason he will want to get paid as much as possible, and the Cowboys may feel like that is him pricing himself out of their range. Dallas has Brock Hoffman as a would-be replacement for Biadasz if he ultimately does walk. It is worth mentioning that as far as the offensive line and potential change is concerned, if Tyler Smith kicks out to tackle on top of these potential moves, that 60% of the offensive line will be different in Week 1 than it was when we last saw this team. The Dallas Cowboys are expected to pursue Green Bay Packers star weapon, report. The Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys have a number of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. While most analysts were skeptical about the Packers' offense heading into the 2023 season, many of those critics were silenced by the end of the season. In their final 10 games, the Packers went 7-3, including a massive playoff win over the Dallas Cowboys. The playoff loss still stings in Dallas, however, they may get their revenge by targeting one of the Packers' best players. BVM Sports highlighted how Aaron Jones could wind up being a member of the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, still reeling from a playoff setback against the Packers, may have an opportunity to strengthen their roster by acquiring Aaron Jones amid the Packers' looming decision to potentially release him. Jones agreed to a pay cut last offseason to support the Packers' cap space needs. Jones recorded impressive stats in 2023, ranking 8th in yards after contact per rush attempt and earning an 81.5 rushing grade. The Cowboys could potentially secure Aaron Jones, a top running back, in a cheap deal if the Packers follow through with releasing him. Jones has excelled against the Cowboys in his pro career, showcasing his talent and value to the team. If the Packers release Aaron Jones, the Cowboys have a golden opportunity to reinforce their running game and potentially gain an edge in a future playoff rematch with Green Bay. The looming possibility of acquiring Aaron Jones presents the Cowboys with a strategic advantage to avenge past defeats and enhance their offensive capabilities for upcoming challenges. During the NFL Scouting Combine, Packers officials met with Aaron Jones' agent to discuss a salary cap cut that would reduce the burden of the final year of his contract on the team. According to a source, the Packers and Drew Rosenhaus are negotiating a number to satisfy the team's desire to lower the salary cap hit. Further discussions will be needed to determine how they would reduce the salary cap. Bottom line, they want him back. If the two cannot reach an agreement within 2 weeks, however, the Packers could let him go and hope whatever they offer isn't matched elsewhere. As a result, the team will have to negotiate with Rosenhaus to find a way to reduce the cap without losing him to another team. Jones has proved over and over how important he is to the Packers' offense. Keeping him in Green Bay will remain a top priority for the Packers front office. And you fan, what do you think of the Aaron Jones situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.